the leg spinner who turned rejection into revolution and now spins her way to six-figure contracts while changing what's possible for Caribbean women. Cricketers. Afy Fletcher's bowling arm has deceived some of the best batters in world cricket, but her journey to becoming one of the Caribbean's most valuable women cricketers is filled with twists more surprising than any delivery she's ever bowled. While most people see her celebrating wickets on international grounds today, they have no idea that just 15 years ago, she was fighting against a cricket culture that didn't believe women belonged on the field. From struggling to find proper coaching in Saint Vincent to becoming one of the most sought-after spinners in global women's cricket leagues, Afy's story reveals the hidden transformation happening in women's cricket that nobody's talking about. This isn't just about cricket statistics. This is about breaking down walls that were built to keep women out. January 26, 1991. Afy Fletcher was born in Kingstown, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. Saint Vincent is a small Caribbean island nation that most people couldn't locate on a map. The entire country has a population of just over 100,000 people. Cricket infrastructure there was limited even for men. For women, it was essentially non-existent. Growing up in Kingstown during the 90s meant watching boys play cricket on every street corner, while girls were expected to stay home or pursue more traditional activities. Society had clear ideas about gender roles, and cricket for girls wasn't part of that picture. But Afy was never interested in following society's rules. From a young age, she was drawn to cricket. She watched matches on television. She played with neighborhood boys whenever they'd let her join. Her family was supportive, which was unusual for that time and place. Most families actively discouraged daughters from playing cricket. They worried about what neighbors would think. They feared their daughters wouldn't find husbands if they acted too masculine. These cultural barriers stopped countless talented girls from ever picking up a cricket ball. Afy's family understood she was different and let her pursue her passion. The problem was finding opportunities. Saint Vincent had no women's cricket program, no coaches specialized in training female players, no organized competitions. If you wanted to play cricket as a girl in Saint Vincent, you had to create your own opportunities from scratch. Afy played with boys in neighborhood games. She practiced alone for hours, bowling at a single stump, working on her accuracy and variations. She was essentially self-taught, learning through trial and error, watching cricket on television and trying to copy what she saw. Her bowling style developed through this informal process. She became a leg spinner, one of cricket's most difficult bowling styles to master. Leg spin requires turning the ball from leg side to offside, which demands specific wrist and finger movements. Most bowlers avoid leg spin because it's hard to control. Afy was attracted to it precisely because it was difficult. She understood that if she could master leg spin, she'd have a unique skill that made her valuable. She spent countless hours perfecting her craft without proper coaching or guidance. The breakthrough came in the mid-2000s when the West Indies Cricket Board began developing women's cricket programs across the region. Saint Vincent finally formed a women's cricket team. This was Afy's chance. She was in her mid-teens, old enough to compete, with years of self-taught practice behind her. She tried out for the Saint Vincent women's team and made it immediately. Her leg spin bowling was unlike anything coaches in the region had seen. Most Caribbean women bowlers were medium pacers or off spinners. Leg spinners were rare. Afy's uniqueness gave her an immediate advantage. Playing for Saint Vincent in regional competitions exposed her to higher levels of cricket. She faced batters from Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, and Trinidad. These islands had better cricket infrastructure and more experienced players. Afy was the underdog from the smallest island, but she wasn't intimidated. She bowled with confidence and creativity. Her leg spin troubled batters who weren't used to facing that kind of bowling in women's cricket. She took wickets consistently. Coaches and selectors from other islands started noticing the teenage leg spinner from Saint Vincent. Between 2008 and 2011, Afy dominated regional women's cricket. She was taking wickets in almost every match. Her bowling variations were developing. She learned to bowl the googly, a delivery that spins the opposite direction and deceives batters completely. She developed a flipper, a faster, skidding delivery. She was becoming a complete leg spin bowler with a full arsenal of variations. West Indies selectors couldn't ignore her anymore. A quality leg spinner is rare in any cricket team. In women's cricket, they're almost non-existent. 2011 was the breakthrough year. Afy Fletcher, age 20, was selected for the West Indies women's cricket team. Her international debut came in a one-day international against Pakistan in March 2011. This was the same series where Charmaine Campbell also debuted. The two would go on to form the backbone of West Indies women's cricket for the next decade. Afy's debut was memorable. She took 2 wickets, showing immediately that her leg spin could trouble international batters. Her bowling figures were economical too, meaning she didn't concede many runs. For a debut, this was exceptional. The early years of her international career from 2011 to 2014 were about establishing herself and refining her skills. She played ODIs and 2020 internationals regularly. Her bowling statistics improved steadily. She was learning to bowl to different batters, adapting to different conditions, and developing her game intelligence. By 2014, she had taken over 30 international wickets across formats. She was becoming known as a genuine wicket-taking threat. But her career faced challenges too. Leg spinners are inconsistent by nature. Some days the ball spins sharply and batters can't read it. Other days the ball doesn't grip the surface and gets hit everywhere. Afy experienced this inconsistency. She'd have matches where she'd take 3 or 4 wickets and look unplayable. Then she'd have matches where she'd go for runs without taking wickets. Selectors struggled with this inconsistency. Sometimes she was dropped from the team. Then she'd be recalled. This cycle was frustrating but also educational. 2016 changed everything. The ICC Women's World 2020 in India became the defining moment of her career. West Indies women's team, led by Stephanie Taylor and coached by Vasbert Drakes, entered as underdogs. But they had a secret weapon. Afy Fletcher's leg spin in 2020 cricket is deadly. The short format means batters must take risks. Taking risks against a quality leg spinner often means getting out. Afy was perfect for this tournament. Match after match, she delivered. She took crucial wickets when West Indies needed them most. Her economy rate was excellent, meaning she didn't concede many runs even when she wasn't taking wickets. She bowled in power plays, middle overs, and death overs. Her versatility was invaluable. In the semi-final against New Zealand, she took 2 crucial wickets that swung the match West Indies' way. The final against Australia saw her contain one of the most powerful batting lineups in women's cricket. West Indies won that World Cup, and Afy Fletcher was one of the heroes. She finished as one of the tournament's leading wicket takers. Suddenly, the leg spinner from Saint Vincent was known globally. That World Cup victory transformed West Indies women's cricket and opened doors that had been closed forever. Better contracts with the West Indies Cricket Board, opportunities to play in international leagues, endorsement possibilities, media recognition. Everything changed after that tournament. 2017 brought new recognition. Afy was selected to play in various international 2020 leagues. The Women's Big Bash in Australia signed her. Playing in Australia meant facing the best players in the world regularly. It meant training in professional environments with world-class coaches. It meant earning significantly more money than Caribbean cricket paid. Her Big Bash performances were solid. She took wickets consistently and showed she could compete at the highest domestic level. Her international career continued flourishing. By 2018, she had played over 50 ODIs and numerous 2020 internationals. Her wicket tally was climbing steadily. She had become West Indies women's frontline spinner, the bowler captains turned to when breakthroughs were needed. Her variations had expanded further. She added more flight and deception to her bowling. She was reading batters better, setting them up over multiple deliveries before getting them out. 2019 brought disappointment and opportunity. She wasn't selected for certain series, which frustrated her, but she used this as motivation. She worked harder on her fitness. She refined her bowling variations. She studied video footage of her performances and identified weaknesses. When she returned to the team, she was bowling better than ever. This resilience showed her mental strength. Many players collapse after being dropped. Afy used it as fuel to improve. The early 2020s brought massive changes to women's cricket economics. New leagues launched globally. Prize money increased dramatically. The Women's Premier League in India was announced for 2023 with revolutionary contracts. Afy positioned herself perfectly for this transformation. She maintained her place in the West Indies team through consistent performances. She played in every available league to maximize exposure and earnings. She built a reputation as a reliable, professional spinner that franchises could trust. When the Women's Premier League launched, Afy was signed by one of the franchises. The WPL contracts were life-changing for women cricketers. Base contracts started at $100,000 and went up from there. For context, this single contract probably exceeded everything Afy had earned from West Indies cricket in her first decade playing. She was finally being compensated fairly for her skills and experience. The WPL also brought massive exposure. Millions of viewers in India watching her bowl. This visibility created additional opportunities. Her performances in the WPL were exactly what franchises hoped for. She took crucial wickets in pressure situations. She bowled economically in power plays. She deceived batters with her variations. She showed calmness under pressure that comes only from years of international experience. Franchise owners love players who deliver consistently in big moments. Afy delivered. This ensured her contracts would remain strong for future seasons. By 2024, Afy had played over 60 ODIs with nearly 70 wickets to her name. Her ODI bowling average was in the mid-20s, excellent for a spinner. She had 4 wicket hauls and 5 wicket hauls in her career. Her T20 international statistics were even more impressive with over 80 wickets. She had become one of the most successful bowlers in West Indies women's cricket history. These aren't just numbers. Each wicket represents a moment where she outsmarted an international batter with skill and intelligence. Her bowling style continues evolving. At 33 years old in 2025, she's not relying purely on spin anymore. She's added subtle changes of pace. She's varied her trajectory and flight. She's developed different grips for different situations. This evolution shows cricket intelligence. Bowlers who can't adapt get figured out and discarded. Afy keeps adapting, which is why she's still taking wickets after 14 years of international cricket. Her impact extends beyond statistics. She's mentored young spinners in the West Indies system. She's shared knowledge about leg spin bowling, a skill that few can teach properly. She's shown young girls from small islands that they can compete at the highest level. Her mere existence as a successful international cricketer from Saint Vincent inspires hundreds of girls who might otherwise never try cricket. The financial transformation in her life has been dramatic. Early in her career, she was earning minimal amounts from cricket, maybe $10,000 to $20,000 annually from West Indies contracts. Now, with WPL contracts, Big Bash earnings, CPL contracts, and West Indies fees combined, her annual cricket income likely exceeds $200,000. Over a 14-year career with most earnings concentrated in recent years, her accumulated cricket earnings probably total over $1 million. Her estimated net worth by 2025 is between $600,000 to $1 million. This comes from accumulated cricket earnings, smart investments, and potentially property ownership. Unlike athletes who spend everything on luxury items, Afy appears to live relatively modestly. She's invested in property in Saint Vincent. She supports her family. She's building long-term financial security rather than chasing temporary luxury. Her lifestyle reflects success without excess. She travels constantly for cricket, which is paid for by franchises. She wears quality sports gear provided by sponsors. She has comfortable housing in Saint Vincent. She's not posting pictures of expensive cars and jewelry on social media. This modest approach is actually smart. It avoids jealousy and keeps focus on cricket. It also suggests financial discipline that will serve her well after cricket ends. What really happened to Afy Fletcher? She went from self-taught leg spinner on a tiny island to one of the most successful bowlers in West Indies women's cricket history. She played over 140 international matches across all formats. She took over 150 international wickets. She was crucial to West Indies winning the 2016 World Cup. She played in major leagues globally. She earned over $1 million from cricket. She broke barriers for women from small Caribbean islands. She proved that with talent, determination, and resilience, even the smallest beginnings can lead to the biggest success. Her story shows that women's cricket has transformed from an afterthought to a legitimate profession, where talented players can build careers and wealth. The girl from Saint Vincent who taught herself to bowl leg spin became a world champion and one of the Caribbean's most valuable women cricketers. That's not just a cricket story. That's a revolution happening one delivery at a time. Subscribe now if you want more untold stories about the women revolutionizing Caribbean cricket while the world isn't watching.